Get a weird error message from the StreamYard.
Nick, are we watching Black Christmas tonight?
Not tonight, but on the weekend if you want.
Oh,
anyway,
hi Nick.
Hey there, hey Greg. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your host Maxwell Star. So, tonight's beer was scheduled to be this, but because Lady Lee was seen drinking them on camera, the LCBO sales skyrocketed over the last week, and yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna do we're gonna do a show and tell, and hey, we love doing those as well, and we know everybody loves doing those because it's always a bit of a competition to see who brings the best beer. And this is gonna be a fun week because I'm sure there's some pretty cool releases out there that popped up recently. Let's start with Mr. Lee. Hey Lee, how's it go tonight?
Just spectacular. How you doing, Nicholas?
I'm not doing too bad. Tired from a long day at work.
Yeah.
All right. So what'd you bring with you?
All right. So I brought one of the newest releases from Nine Locks over here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. And this is their Sober Monk, which is a Belgian single in style. So at 5% alcohol by volume.
Fancy.
Nice. All right. Sounds cool enough. I only get like the Frig Off IPA right now from them, but I wish I could get more. All right. Thank you, Lee. Let's go over to Mr. Everybody's favorite Greg. And yes,
hi, Nick.
Favorite. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Nick. I am annoying, I know. But anyway, I'm here. I'm feeling okay. And I just found out that next week's beer, which is yet unnamed, but we're talking about it, is sold out in every store around me except for one.
So you might have to drive more than 5 minutes.
And they all had it. No, the one has 15. So if I go tomorrow, I should be okay. But every store around me had it. They're all gone, but one store.
Meanwhile, everybody else has bought a can.
Jesus, man. All right.
Alrighty. So what'd you bring with you tonight?
Oh, are we introducing the beer already? Okay. Yep. So, per popular vote, I am actually doing 2 beers in small cans, so I'm not too gluttonous. We're going to do, from our good friends at Jamie's favorite brewing company, Wellington Brewery, we got M31 Andromeda. It's a 10.9% bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout. Yummy. And then we got its friend, which is called M31 Almac, or however you pronounce it. And it is the same beer, except this one has coffee in it. So will the coffee make it better?
We shall see.
Okay.
Or the more important question, can a brewery actually make a coffee stout that actually tastes like coffee? It doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
It's a surprisingly difficult adjunct to work with.
And I think the biggest surprise would be, can Wellington actually make a imperial stout that's good?
Oh!
Actually, no. You know what? It's not bad, actually. I've had it.
I'd watch out. Jamie has a pointy stick, and he's not afraid to use it.
You know what? I've heard good things with the M31s, and I would like to try it at some point. But
I've had a few
obviously,
years.
My sponsorship from Wellington is done now that I've insulted them online.
I have a few years. I've tried it for the last couple of years, and it's generally pretty good. They have some ones that are very adjuncty, like more than just coffee, and some of them go a little bit into the Dan territory.
Lactose.
Oh, I just thought you were saying Alberta.
Apologies.
Oh, it's all good. Alrighty. So, thank you, Greg.
Lady Lee up as she's choking.
Yeah, right.
No, my face is all
Hi, Lee.
choking. Hi.
Well, I mean, it's not like we've never made you blush before, so awesome. You're recovering well from that sneeze.
Yeah. So, the beer that I have chosen tonight, I don't know, it just made me giggle because it is I don't even know how to pronounce this, Gowden Carolus, but it's a Christmas beer. So it's just straight up Christmas.
Yeah.
It is a Belgian beer, Belgian ale. It is 10%. So I'm competing with Greg tonight.
Uh-oh. Yep. Spoilers, you're going to win.
And yeah, so I just liked it. I kind of laughed when I saw it. So I decided to get dressed up for the occasion. I'm wearing my elf shirt.
Nice.
Just for it. Yeah. But that is it. It is Gowden Carolus Christmas Belgian Ale.
Yeah, it's like Godin or Golden.
I don't think anyone knows how to pronounce it.
No,
Yeah.
but like she gave me her list, like she showed me the beers she bought recently, and it's like I don't know what to choose. And I was like, oh, that one. That's one I've actually heard of. All the rest were like weird, like adjunct stouts that probably taste like shit and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay.
I'm not sure if I've had that specific one, but I've had various Godin beers, and they're usually fairly good.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas.
Christmas.
Nice.
Christmas.
Alrighty. So thank you, Lady Lee. Let's move over to Digital Beard. All right, we're gonna play this video from our friend Redbeard, who couldn't be with us tonight, but still has a beer to share.
What's going down, people of the analysis? Thanks so much for having me virtually. Good times. For the beer of the analysis, or the beer of the tonight, whatever the hell you want to call it, I've got a bottle of Sandcastle's barrel-aged lime goza, 4.8 ABV.
Oh, that's pretty light for a
Trestle
barrel-aged
Brewing
beer.
Company out of Parry Sound, Ontario. This bottle was like $15, I think.
What?
So
$15 for that.
cool art stuff. Looks pretty. But
What kind of barrels, you know?
I'm very apprehensive and kind of scared. I don't know what to expect from this at all. Yeah.
Well, now that he's in a big management position, he can start affording to waste money on $15 bottles of beer.
What? It's not like he didn't do that already.
Yeah, but now at least he can excuse it a bit more.
All right. Speaking of making excuses, let's put me up there and introduce the beer I have, which is from, guess who? Trailway. Yes, I'm drinking another beer from Trailway. Go figure. But this one is Barn Robbers, barrel-aged blended sour, 6% ABV. Now, what's so cool about this, and I'll read the spiel off of their Facebook post about it back in, they released it in October. It is a spontaneously fermented beer, so think lambics. Barn Robbers was barrel-aged for 30 months and blended with barrel-aged Brett Saison and subsequently conditioned in stainless steel for 6 months, where it was dosed with peach puree and citrus spectrum to elevate the fruit character.
Whoa.
Complex, funky. Yeah, so
they actually they're actually going through with the steps that they tend to do to actually make a lambic. So that's cool.
yeah, pretty much. Plus they added citrus spectrum, which is probably going to be like a fresh hop. Like I looked it up, citrus spectrum is like a liquid kind of citra extract from Yakima Valley. I should have read a little bit deeper into that. It's like considered like a liquid hop. It just says liquid hop product. I guess you could say it is an extract. So there's that. There's like a negative stigma to extract, the word extract, but I know it's one of those ones that's kind of like similar to the cryo hop kind of process, but it's a liquid form. Anyway, getting hung up on that. So peach puree and citrus spectrum on top of it really sounds like one of like Lindemann's Pecherus, only Trailway made it. It sounds really cool, and I had to pick it up. It was $10 for a bottle of this, for a 500 ml bottle of something super special like that. That's actually not bad.
Yeah,
like by comparison, that Moosehead Imperial Stout was more expensive than this, and even that one I thought was a good deal.
I mean that's the same size as Carrie's bottle, isn't it? Pretty much, I think. And his is $15 for a 4.8% fucking goza. Like, yeah, no, I think you got the better deal there, probably.
Alrighty.
Gozas are just salty piss, if we're being honest.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of them are.
All right, so we got no comments.
No,
and possibly might have a digital Dan showing up here, and not a digital Dan, but an analog Dan.
I wanted Max Hendra Dan. That would have been great. Oh, we got
taste of a new generation.
We do have a comment. Radar's in the chat saying
Radar in the chat saying first comment.
I like how you both said that at the same time.
Yeah.
It kind of echoed. It was Lee and then Nick.
No, that's just your headphones are going wonky again.
The Radar, if he's got a beer sitting in the fridge, then something fancy, you could probably still have time to pop on.
I mean, literally, you can just pull out a bone shaker and show it to us.
Greg could still vote for it.
I would. I like bone. Well, I can't do that live.
Oh, he
says
doesn't have
Oh.
a beer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, Dan hasn't showed up yet, so I guess we'll continue on to the next phase of this whole thing. We'll talk about our history.
Wait, Nick, can you hear the sound? It's a whip. Whoosh, whoosh. Dan is being.
Dan being whipped.
Oh yeah.
And that's why he can show up.
Yes.
For anybody who
indeed.
normally just watches the show and reads the comments, it's the Western Canadian beer reviewer and the guy, the bald guy with a lot of metal posters.
He used to look exactly like Nick, but now they've differentiated themselves.
Yeah, he's less hair than I do, and I don't get my hair cut enough.
Oh, Radar says he can be here in like 15 minutes. If he can run to the LCBO and get something.
That's a little. We're hoping to be mostly done the show by that point. Anyway, all right. So
It's a BYOB, Vincent.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a show and tell. Like, go get something and bring it back. But we're trying to.
Anyways,
Whatever. If he's back in 15 minutes, he can tell us about his beer.
Fine. Okay, go get a beer. Bring it back in 15 minutes. You may or may not be in time for the voting at the end. All right.
See, Radar, we like you.
hey, Tom
Sometimes.
Nick.
Makes it hard to run a show sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, I suppose we just read the comments. We could chat amongst ourselves until we get to the next part, which is our histories. At this point, I don't think there's really a lot of history with any of these beers.
No, mine's like exactly like 2 weeks old when this fucking beer came out.
Funky.
So,
I found the website for mine.
okay.
It is a Christmas beer.
Wow. Oh,
No,
I'm
really?
glad we cracked that mystery.
Het Anchor, that makes it.
Oh wow, look at that sucker.
Okay.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but
Having it in
that
a
is-
brand cat glass. Jamie, drinking out of my brand cat.
You done talking over Lee, you rude bitch?
Sorry.
Wow.
It's Lou talking over Lee. Lou dog.
What were you
Your dog's
saying? What were we saying, Lee?
I was just saying it's a Het Anchor, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Oh, I don't know.
Introduction. For more than 35 years, we had to miss the Christmas beer, but in 2002, the tradition was restored with Gauden, Careless Christmas. It's a strong, dark, ruby red beer with character and contains an alcohol percentage of 10.5. Mine just says 10, so I don't know. Brewed in August, the beer rests for a few months to reach an optimal balance. 3 kinds of hops and 6 different kinds of herbs and spices define the rich taste of this Christmas beer. Top class. That is the history of my beer.
Awesome.
Not my history. It's the
Yeah.
history of the beer.
Like this sober monk. So, of course, I have had it several times in the last few weeks since it's come out. I didn't see like a listing of actual like hops and malt bill and all that stuff, but it obviously has some sort of Belgian-ish yeast strain in it or whatever. So it's like, you know, it, at least to that degree, kind of authentically going for a Belgian style beer. And specifically, they're going for like a Trappist style single. So it's kind of a neat little diversion for Nine Locks. They usually don't do anything quite that interesting, but
That's that single you got.
yeah.
So now that I got you up on screen, I might as well get you, even though you kind of went into detail about it. What is your history with it, or Nine Locks in general?
Oh, Nine Locks, they've been around for a few years now and quickly became one of my favorite breweries. They just do a bunch of really excellent stuff. They don't go super pretentious, you know, and they seem more interested in making beers that, you know, appeal more to everybody a little bit more, you know, like stuff that people can get into, stuff that isn't like scary, like, oh, I don't want to touch this triple IPA or this whatever other bullshit, kind of thing. You should move on to Dan. You should move on to Dan.
Yeah. Dan just showed up. Thank you for finally showing up there, Dan.
Oh, hey, no problem. I thought I'd come for a fight.
So before we get into a recap of what we have, what did you bring with you?
I kind of saw what you guys had. I was kind of watching while I was getting ready.
Oh.
I thought I'd bring.
Heard that, did you?
I thought I'd bring something that. I figured we've been going back and forth on this, so I thought I'd bring a little bit of Phillips
train wreck. Nice.
The barley wine 2022.
Barley wine?
Yep. Coming in at 10% alcohol by volume.
I like how 3 of us have like 10% beers.
Because the more alcohol, more better.
It's
I
Wednesdays.
was so tempted to grab a crest and just do that as like a joke.
Oh,
But they didn't have it at the beer or the liquor store I went to.
too bad, cuvee.
So yeah, that's what I brought.
Nice.
Maybe
And also, I should ask, how are you doing tonight there, Dan?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Awesome. And I guess while you're up on screen, we might as well do the third phase, which is the next phase, which is what's your history with it?
My history with this beer is lots. My history at the brewery is lots. They just actually re-released this and brought it out of the cellar, so to speak, because they haven't made this in 6 years. So when they made this, it was always 10%. It was always a barley wine, and it was always really damn good. So I've had various years and iterations of this. I've aged them for 2 to 3 years and had it, and it's been absolutely brilliant. So I've had a lot of this, but this year's version is my first time having it.
Nice. First time having this version of it.
Yeah, this version. Yeah, this year's version. So,
Gotcha. Alrighty. So, thank you, Mr. Dan. Let's go over to Greg.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Greg.
So I've had many beers from Wellington. I don't know. At least I've got 30 check-ins, I think. Well, 20 to 30 check-ins. Now, this beer, they changed the name this year. Don't ask me why. They've always had weird names. So this year, it's the M31 series. This is the M31 Andromeda, which is the basic barrel-aged stout. Then we got the M31 Almac, which is the same thing, but with coffee. And then there was another one, which I believe veered into Dan territory. Just kind of having a quick look. I think it had I think it was like a Black Forest cake. I think it had chocolate and oh yeah, hold on. So Almash, Andromeda, and Mirage. I know I'm butchering these pronunciations. And this one was so it looks like it had strawberry, vanilla bean, dark chocolate, and maybe something else. But from what I remember, I had one can of it. It was like a Black Forest cake kind of thing. Not terrible for what it was, but not really my thing. So I've had the base beer for 2 years previous when it was called UVB-76 Boris.
Okay.
That was the name of it. And then the other, it was referring to like a submarine or something like that. I don't exactly get the reference. Maybe if I bothered to read the can, I'd learn.
Maybe it should just call it like UB40 or something like that.
Yeah.
Red wine.
I totally don't get whatever reference you guys just did, and I'm just very confused.
Like music.
And we did the song really badly, so it's like I don't think anyone else would remember it either. They'd be like, "What the fuck did those two idiots just do?"
I try to remember the Elder UB40 song. Anyway, go ahead.
And I'm just trying to look up. So the coffee version, although it may not have been the exact same coffee used, because this was a special. No, this wasn't totally coffee. So last year's coffee one was called UVB 76 Yelena, and it was Ethiopian Sidamo cold brew and blending it with cascara tea made from the skins of the coffee fruit.
Oh, just fuck off.
Oh yeah, some of these are great. How they go into Dan territory. So you had. Do they tell you what's actually in it? Anyway, this is a pastry stout with honey, graham cracker, and marshmallow. Was another one they had.
I'd rather be a pastry scout. That'd be great.
And then we got this one, which was this one actually I think was good from what I remember. It had Mexican style hot chocolate spices, including cinnamon, cocoa, vanilla, and spicy chilies. I think that one was pretty good from what I remember.
Ooh, that does sound good.
That's Bellini. He's
Bellini.
That's Bellini.
Kids in the Hall's very own Bellini, reincarnated as a cat.
Paul
Arnold. There's Arnold passed out in his chair. So yeah. So he's come to join us. So that's my history. I've had the regular one for 2 years under a different name, and I had a similar-ish coffee one last year. So basically, I'm having these beers for the first time, and I just wasted the last 5 minutes of your time. But it gives Radar some time to get his beer. So cheers.
Yeah,
there you go.
Better hustle.
Fantastic.
I did want to say one more thing that M31 is the the galaxy identifier code for Andromeda, which is the closest galaxy to our own.
Well, it's called M31 Andromeda.
Yeah, it makes sense. M31 Andromeda is just the name of the galaxy. Now the other thing, I was looking up what Almec means. And apparently, that's one of the other stars in the Andromeda constellation. So,
so I bet you the UB thing is a star, not a submarine.
So what was
that's UVB 76. That was last year's. Name. This year it's called M31. And then, there's 3 different ones. They're all M31, and then they have a different name after that.
Okay.
Do you remember there was in the 80s there was this Russian radio station that just had a buzzing code? That's UVB 76.
Okay.
That's a really big cat.
Yeah, he's a pretty big boy.
There are still stations that do that broadcast.
There's a Russian the buzzer, the shortwave radio station.
They're all spy signals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. The mystery has been solved. The important thing is I didn't have to lift a finger. He's old.
Still broadcast.
Reminds me of my old cat. A lot of them still do. There are still plenty of those stations around that broadcast those. Yeah. Radar's back too. He said he'll have beer to show. That was less than 15 minutes.
Wow! See,
hurry up and get in here. Alrighty, so who we got left? We got Lady Lee is here. And she's going to tell us with a mouthful of food what her history is with the beer.
I realize this beer's going down pretty smooth. And it's 10%, so I'm like, I should put food in my belly, unless I'll end up like last week. So
that was a good time had by all.
So my history is non-existent. This is the bout of my history, the amount that I drank. Yeah, I've never had anything from this brewery before. I've never had this beer before, so it is totally brand spanking new. I did, however, pick up Belgian beer last week, and this is a different. Well, yeah, it's a Belgian beer as well. It's different taste, and obviously, and different style, but still in that Belgian category. So I must be having something with Belgians right now.
That's why I suggested it to you. It's like, we'll keep the Belgian streak going with her. See what she thinks.
I also have another 2 Belgian beers in my fridge right now.
There you go.
It just happened to be. It wasn't intentional. It just ones I gravitated towards. So
yeah, you're developing a taste for it.
Yeah.
I find that kind of fun because it's I can remember back when I first started doing different beers and stuff, and what was available at my NSLC back in the day, 20 years ago or whatever. Mostly Belgian stuff was the fancy schmancy. Oh, this is different, and that's kind of what got me into craft beers and stuff like that. So
yeah, at the very beginning, Belgian beers were the cat's ass alongside all that craft beer. Now, I mean, not as many people think of it that way anymore, but it used to be high quality stuff coming from Belgium. Anyway,
I'm definitely enjoying these Belgian beers. I also got the Rush beer too. I can't remember. I showed you that one, but that's also Belgian.
Yep. And you were sending mixed signals on that one.
Typical right. Lady Lee.
All right, so
Good morning, everybody.
I'll classy radar.
Yes, I
What
got
would-
3 beers to choose from to present that are beers
right.
that I have drank a lot late. Well, not a lot. I mean, drank more commonly lately. This one, the India Pale Ale from it's the whatchamacallit, the Landlocked from Overflow, which I've had years ago with Guy, or a couple years ago, and it's like I was like, but recently I've been buying more, and they're really damn good for some reason. Or the Bone Shaker.
Erection shaker.
Yeah,
Or-
Bone Shaker.
Or I've been buying Sneaky Weasels recently because they're on special at the beer store. Instead of $2 a can, they're $1.80.
What is it?
Sneaky Weasel.
I know, but like, what kind of beer is it?
That's a lager, I think. Yeah, Sneaky
$2
Weasel
a
strong
can?
beer. It's it's usually 205. But yeah, it's real craft lager from Balderdash Brewing, BC, and it's at the local my beer store not far from me, and they're like $2.25 at the LCBO, but for some reason the beer store near here, I can get them for $1.80, and it's a good beer. So choose
Jesus.
either or. We'll make a Greg, which beer do you want me to review?
I don't know. I'm tempted to just see what the Sneaky Weasel is all about. Bone Shaker, I love, but we've
Yeah.
always had we've had Bone Shaker many times. Let's go with the Sneaky Weasel. I want to see what the Weasel's all about.
Okay, and Mr. Danacron, which beer would you want me to test drive?
You've had me at BC.
Okay. So that's 2-0. Lee Russell.
Sneaky Weasel gets my vote.
Okay, that's 3 out of 5. So
pointless for the rest of us.
Yeah, sneaky weasel.
yes. So
Everyone
yeah,
else wanted to see you shake your bone.
No, I'd
I
vote
like
for the
that.
sneaky weasel too.
Yeah. Lady Lee, what would you have chosen?
The first one.
The Overflow.
Yeah.
I'll drink that after.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
but yeah, this is from Balderdash Brewing from BC. I do not know
Balderdash.
much about this beer. This brewery.
I like the can.
Yeah, I like it too. And that's what struck me about it. It's like you go to the store to like all those colors and all that stuff, but for some reason this dull color stood out. And a couple of months ago, and I've had a few since. So yeah, Balderdash, never had anything else from them, and Sneaky Weasel, yeah.
Sneaky weasel craft lager.
They've been around since 2017 by the looks of things.
hmm
Interesting.
And I'm going to be drinking it in my trusty Dominion City glass.
Trusty unwashed.
It's washed. It's
glass.
just very
Okay.
old.
All right, there, Radar. Thank you for popping on, and we're gonna actually pan right back over to another installment of Digital Beard. He's always got a great look on his face.
well,
All right.
it is his face. So what can you do?
The face is a great look.
All right, let's hit play.
I've had most of the releases that this brewery has put out because my sister lives in Parry Sound where this brewery is. So anytime they make out something new that I'm interested in, I tell her, she gets them. It makes it my way. I've been there a few times. It's actually a really, really nice brewery to go and hang out at. Their beer on tap is overpriced. I'm not gonna lie. It's like the Muskoka region of Ontario, so everything is kind of overpriced when you go as far as dining out and shit, it seems. But yeah, the brewery is beautiful. They got the ability to like kayak up in the summer, like in the winter you can come right up to it.
Classic.
And oh no, they've made some really, really good beers. So like I said before, I'm pretty excited to try this one, even though it's a weird barrel aged 4.8%. Who barrel ages a Goza?
Mm.
It's weird.
Monsters.
Well, no, it's goes as such a like other than adding salt to it. Really, it's generally such a neutral kind of like saison type beer that it is open to like throw any kind of flavor you want into it. Really, so.
Do we need to go through the beers to let
Well,
Dan and Radar know what we have?
I'll can I introduce what I might go talk about my history on this? Not that I really need to go in great detail about my history with Trailway, because I don't think anybody watching or in this panel right now doubts I have an extensive history with Trailway. This is like my version of GLB or Amsterdam for Greg.
Yeah, so some say your history would be obsessive, maybe creepy. Some people have said.
Yeah, at least I know watch
Some people
Black
find it
Christmas
that
as a comfort movie during the Christmas season.
I mean, it's
Wait,
it's
who
a
are you
wonderful-
insulting now? Me or Greg? What's going on here?
We're a group
Passing
of
the buck.
misfits that hang out together. I think we all have weirdnesses about us. Just
Not
saying.
wrong.
Speak for yourself, Normie.
So,
Yeah, I'm a female hanging out with a bunch of men, drinking beer. Okay.
I know Jesus wouldn't approve of what you do.
Yeah,
Sorry.
shut up,
Okay,
shut
so-
up, dude.
yeah, let me talk. All right, so my history with Trailway is extensive. I really love all their IPAs. I've tried probably most of the beers that they've ever released, at least the ones I can get my hands on. One of the ones that's always kind of eluded me in the last couple of years is like a couple of years ago when they started really taking sours really almost religiously. They even purchased like a cool ship, which is like it's kind of like a open fermentation pan. Where I don't know, just look it up. It's like a special kind of thing for exposing the beer to and letting it cool off for fermentation purposes. And I think this is actually one of the beers that they were in the process of making many years ago. And I haven't had. I know there's been a couple of these beers, sours, like barrel aged sours that have been released by Trailway, but I haven't had a chance to actually get my hands on any of their bottled lineup of beers because traditionally Trailway's always been canned. So it's kind of exciting, and I wasn't sure exactly what to expect to see from this, but without getting into too much detail, I'm very glad I tried. Yeah, like they've really taken things super seriously with this, and this has kind of been like years in the making. I mean, after all, they said this was barrel aged for 30 months, so that had to have been barrel aged since like if it was released this year, and then they aged it for another 6 months in a vat in a steel, so it was probably like that's 3 years right there. So it's probably pre-COVID that they like 2019 or something, or 2018 that they started making this thing.
Wow.
So that's roughly around the same time that they got those systems up and running. So yeah. Anyway, okay. So to recap the beers that we have tonight, I'll cycle through each person and just show the can that you have. I'll start with Mr. Lee. Here you
Okay, so mine is 9 Locks Sober Monk, which is a Belgian style single, Trappist single at 5% alcohol by volume.
Ready? Thank you, Lee. Let's go to Greg.
Wellington Brewery, M31, Andromeda, M31, Almac, both basically the same beer. The Andromeda is just a bourbon barrel aged stout, 10.9%. This one's the same thing, just with coffee added. And we're doing a head to head because why not?
Nice. All right, Greg. Thank you, Greg. Let's go over to Lady Lee. And Lady Lee, what's the beer you brought tonight?
Mine's in a bottle.
Fancy.
Golden Carolus Christmas. Belgian
Nice.
beer.
And is that a Christmas beer?
Yes.
Are you
For
sure?
my outfit. I gotta show it off my outfit. Ooh, there we go.
I vote for the outfit.
I feel like if anyone from Golden Carolus right now is watching this, they need to hire her as a spokesmodel because that's working for me right now. So
Yeah, I gotta turn my camera off. Give me about 3 minutes.
Gotta go have a smoke. I'll be back, guys.
All right.
I'm
Dan.
gonna piss on the back of 30
Oh
seconds.
wait, it's me next. Sorry, I can't follow it up by boobs. I mean, by,
Yes, you
by
can.
the bottles. Bottles. That's what I meant.
Yours are probably the same size.
Anyways, Phillips Train Wreck Barley Wine 2022 edition. Last time it was done was 2017.
Nice. Thank you, Dan. And of course, we got the squeaky weasel himself. Sneaky weasel.
Yeah, hang on a
Pardon
second.
me.
Radar, Ottawa, Canada. Sneaky Weasel from BC, Balderdash Brewing, 5.6% lager. And yes,
All right, and me, of
What was
course,
that?
I've got the Trailway Barn Robbers Barrel Aged Blended Sour, which is barrel aged for 30 months, and then peach puree and Citra Spectrum hops were added, and then aged another 6 months. Anyway, so right on.
And
So
Carrie had a sour
Carrie,
goes trestle.
he's Carrie's harder to show on screen, but he's got like a sandcastle barrel aged lime goza, which I'm
Yeah.
sure he's gonna love, even though he's skeptical of it. All right. We only have one viewer, and I'm sure it's probably one of us that's watching it. So
It's me.
hi, Raider. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna share a page here while we're talking about, because I was talking about the cool ship, which is, here's one that Allagash in Maine has.
Ooh,
Talking about where it's kind of like a, what is it, a Dutch thing maybe, but it's kind of
Allagash would
in those
be
times, the fastest and most cost-effective way to cool hot wort was for brewers to pump steaming liquid into a large rectangular pans called cool ships. So they did let the beer cool off in a cool ship like this to cool it off. And one thing that probably happens unintentionally while doing it this way is that it's a wide area for fermenting the beer, like get spontaneous fermentation, so
Yeah.
it's exposed to the air. So anybody knows that like lambic gets its name from the Lambic region of Belgium, so it's very unique because it's a spontaneously fermented beer that
Uses
really unique.
the
Yeah,
natural yeast in the area.
yeah, exactly. The yeast in the air of that area is kind of what gives the beer its unique flavor. So really, lambics are regional.
It's basically a beer that's gone bad that they sell you for twice the price.
Yeah, and whenever you get like a lambic imitation beer over here, it's not really spontaneous information. It's somebody who's cultivated all those strange little yeasts and made a blend of it and then put it into the beer.
Mm.
Whereas actually Trailway, in my case of the beer that I've got, they've actually used one of these cool ships to kind of make a blend of yeast naturally occurring. It's kind of neat.
That's a very cool project. We have a wild Jamie in the chat, by the way.
Hello, everybody.
A wild Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
A wild Jamie's appeared.
Actually, I think he said hello, everybody.
Everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hear it.
Which I think I saw it on The Onion that they actually caught like a miniature microphone of what it sounds when a fly hits a leaf. It's actually erp. ERB. Erp.
Okay. Trusted news source, The Onion. Yes.
They're good. They're pretty good sometimes.
Yeah, they're very. I mean, they're at the point where The Onion's even joked the news is so fucking ridiculous that we should just quit at this point. But you know,
it's like we didn't come up with this.
It was all fun and games until we started making talk show hosts or game show host presidents and shit. You know, like.
Yeah, I know it's going to be like Nazi singers probably.
God, no.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they got Trump in there.
Yeah, the U.S. they're a different breed of people.
Yep. Christianity, right, so, yeah, white Jesus, blue eyes. That's not what the Bible says.
Alrighty, let's. Okay, so we might as well go right back around and circle with everybody and see what their final thoughts are on their beers.
All right, so this is the thing about this is that it's not a big Belgian beer like the stuff that Leah's been doing the last couple of weeks. You know, so it's not like the uber like complex, spicy, sometimes dark and like sweet, and it's very much like the standard Belgian beer. Like this is a step above all those like patter beers, table beers, whatever you want to call them, kind of thing, where, you know, low alcohol, monks would drink them during times of fasting, that kind of thing. This is a step up. This is kind of almost, even though it's an ale, I kind of liken these two as like the Belgian version of a Pilsner, really, in some respects, or at the very least like an alt beer, maybe. And I like it. It's subtly spicy. It definitely has some sort of Belgian-ish yeast in it. You can definitely get that character. There's a little bit of fruity esters in it. It's not quite like super bubblegummy or anything like that, but there is that sort of Belgian, that telltale Belgian kind of taste to it. It's got a little bit of like a coriander-ish kind of spice to it. In a nice like grainy body all the way through. Very smooth drinking, very easy drinking. Dry finish. Not super hoppy or anything like that. Just kind of dry, pleasant finish that makes you want to take another drink. It's pretty refreshing, and I like it. It's interesting to see a craft brewery over on this side of the pond like do a really good recreation of this style, which not a lot of people actually really do. Belgian single, like it's not a thing a lot of them gravitate towards, because beer nerds want the big Belgian beers, if they even want Belgian beers anymore these days.
Triples, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or they want to go in the super opposite direction and get those table beers and stuff, because they were a bit of a novelty for a little while. I mean, you got like Two Crows Liesse, which is a good example of that. And Church Brewing does a patter beer of some it's an Inkel or something like that they call it, but it's kind of like a German version of a patter beer. This is really good. I like it the first time I had it. I like it now. It's become a go-to for me. Style wise, I feel comfortable. Like, I haven't had a lot of Belgian singles necessarily in my drinking life, but I've had a few. So I feel comfortable giving this like a solid 8 and saying like, this is a really good example. It's nothing super exciting. It's it's not going to blow your fucking mind or anything like that. It's not next level Belgian single or anything like that, but it's better than average, and I think it's pretty good. And my own personal preference, I throw an 8 at it. I like it a lot.
Nice.
So there we go.
All right. Awesome, Lee.
Awesome,
Sounds good.
Lee.
Thank you, Lee.
All righty. So
You're
let's
all
go
very
to-
welcome.
All right, Greg. How'd those stouts turn out? Get here.
He's drunk. Somebody needs to take him home.
God, he's staring you down. He's like, what'd you say to me, motherfucker?
No, this is how I keep them all calm. I drug them.
Oh, okay.
They're all passed out.
He can join the war of the cats at my apartment.
The war of the cats. My God.
None of the cats like each other, so they all fight.
Our cats get along. There's we got 2 of them. He's actually my mom's cat, but she couldn't take him because he's an outdoor cat, and outdoor cats don't travel well. So they're he's staying with us. He's actually quite the asshole. He's cute, but he's an asshole.
He looks like my old cat.
So he's perfect for you, huh, Greg?
Yeah, so like every morning, so he goes outside at night. At least he doesn't. He's older now, so he doesn't go outside when it's too cold. But it's been pretty warm lately, so he goes outside. Oh my God! At like 5:30 in the morning, he starts fucking howling to be let in, and I just close my window. I don't give a fuck. But the neighbors fucking hate. But the neighbors fucking hate the cat. That's why I was one of my neighbors doesn't try to like throw a rock at him or something.
Wow.
That's such a Greg thing. And I think it's the most Greg thing I've heard all week.
What, the cat meows a lot?
Yeah, no, the things with you.
No, they're just like, I just closed the window. Let the little fucker rot.
Listen, he
Jesus,
is well.
Greg.
He is well. I didn't say that, Nick. Listen, I mean, I didn't mean it, but I didn't say it. Listen, he has the option to stay in the house every night. He chooses not to. The consequences are he does not wake up until he does not get let in until I wake up, which is around 7:30. He can meow for 2 fucking hours. I don't give a fuck. Eventually he's gonna lose his voice, and that'll be all right for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like that cat just likes being irritating. Like, he's old. He just rolls with the punches. He's just like, whatever, man.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. He just
Greg
likes being a little shit.
He looks like the Big Lebowski in cat form, honestly, or regular Lebowski, I should say, the dude.
He's a big recluse. Up until last year, we had a black one that was even older than him and more of an asshole and more of a recluse than he is. And that cat died last year. It was 17 years old. So now, 17's a good age. So it's
Good news for you, Lebowski. The bum's lost.
So now this fucker who's like 10 or 11, I don't know exactly how old he is. He's become an extra bum because of that. It's like he has to take over as the old man.
All my cats are hiding.
So
he's gonna
And
pee on your rug.
And it's also his other favorite thing is he likes to stand in the middle of the hallway and just hiss at all the dogs. So the dogs are afraid of him. They're like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to go around him. So, anyways, that's the adventure of the cat. Let's go on to the beer, shall we? So, this is.
Wouldn't be anything.
Now, the one thing I'll say about Wellington to start is their 8% Imperial Stout. Not amazing, but considering you can get it all year round and it's a pretty good price, it's a nice beer to have at the LCBO because it's like, I want an Imperial Stout in May. There aren't that many available. It's nice that you can just grab something. So, it's not bad for that purpose. This is kind of probably one of the most boring Imperial Stouts I've had. Sorry, bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stouts. That's not to say it's bad. It's kind of saying I have the shittiest Ferrari. It's still pretty good. But, you may not have the really nice one that you really want. Like, Jeff Bezos has. I'm like, I want that one, but I can't afford that one. So. But anyways, it's a pretty solid beer. It's very smooth, be very dangerous for somebody who I actually think for somebody that's not really big into stouts, this would be probably kind of something that'd be really good to introduce them to it because it is very smooth for what it is. I just really don't get much on it other than like a little bit of char, or maybe some baker's chocolate or something like that. There's like no kind of chalk. I don't really get any bourbon on it per se. Like I really think the barrels they used probably were a little bit, probably second or third fill and probably a little bit exhausted. Maybe they need to be like recharred or something and maybe refilled with some actual bourbon. But I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, just because something's bourbon barrel aged, I mean, this could be the fourth time that barrel was used. So that's not really that exciting. Now, I did have these beers both. Actually, hold on. I'll get to the second beer and I'll get into the analysis. Into the versus. I'm cleansing my palate. Now, I don't have any pickle juice. So
pickles.
I actually do have some pickles, but I don't feel like getting them. So this is just going to be completely unprofessional. I'm just going to use water, which I'm half-assing it, but
what would Chris Peters think? Water is just supplied by the government to mind control you, right?
I know. I mean,
I have no idea what you're talking about. The government is amazing.
Apparently, the thing is, there's COVID vaccine in this. So I mean, if I drink it, it should protect me from COVID. I think.
Yeah, Chris Peters thinks you're a cuck now.
I mean,
he thinks everybody's a cuck.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us can be alpha males like Chris Peters, so I mean, we just have to live with who we are.
Yeah.
The microchips that got inserted into all of us just made it a lot easier for me to send my nudes. So.
Wait, what?
Technology is awesome.
Why are you not sending those news to me? Because I have that microchip too.
Holy shit! They're gonna know where I live and who my family is.
Dan, you got the wrong one, and you're just getting nudes of Radar.
Yeah, the problem is they were all the nudes she took were NFTs, and she already sent them to me. So they're like, I own them all.
That would explain all of it, right?
Yeah,
there.
but I mean, if it's NFTs, we can all download them for free, despite the fact that you own them.
Damn it!
So cheers to that.
Not wrong.
Damn it! Did they lie to me?
Yes. Of course they did. It's NFTs are bullshit.
It's almost like NFTs aren't a good investment unless you're the person selling them at the top of the pyramid scheme.
Yeah,
like spend $1 million on NFTs right at the beginning because they thought they were going to be a big thing. Crypto, yeah, it's like crypto. All right,
that's enough. Yeah, no, not ratings. I'm still going into it, Nick. I'm trying to expand your show so it's nice and juicy this week.
Nice an hour long.
I'm trying to keep here so that I can finish my review.
Yeah. It's I'm almost done with my beer already.
Okay. Well, now you're putting pressure on me, and I'm going to finish prematurely. I hope you're happy.
Good.
Anyway.
Not the first time you said that.
No, it's not the first time, not the last time. Anyways, so the coffee version. when I had these both a month ago, so this is my second time having this specific cans. I liked the regular non-coffee version, and I was very disappointed in the coffee version, which is no surprise because most coffee beers fucking suck. Because breweries, for whatever reason, can't figure out how to use coffee that you can actually taste the coffee. I don't know. After about a month, though, I gotta say I'm actually somewhat impressed. I mean, it's certainly nowhere near as much coffee as I'd like there to be, but it's actually got a nice, well-rounded flavor. So, I mean, this is, I guess, why with beers like this are a little more complicated. It's always complex. It's nice to maybe buy 2 cans, assuming they're not exorbitantly expensive. Because, yeah, there is definitely a difference of this beer. I actually feel the regular one's gotten worse, and the coffee one's gotten better. So, isn't that exciting? So, in terms of the regular one, I'm not going to give a style rating. Do I have to give a style? It's kind of dumb.
Yes, you do. Have to give
You
a
don't have
style.
to.
No, because I remember the first time I did beer review, I said I didn't want to give a style because it was like literally me first time drinking beer, and everyone's like, "Oh, you have to give a style." So fuck you, give a goddamn style.
Oh, I'll give it a style. It's just we're not doing the same beer, so it doesn't make anyway. Okay, fine. I'll give it a style. Style will be for a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout without any adjuncts. It will be a 8. For my own personal preference, I like the beer, despite it being kind of boring. I just love imperial stouts, so I'll give it an. I'll give it a 9. I still quite enjoy it, despite I'm just rating it against other beers that are just better. But
You are
still,
rating super like hard. Like what is
More
it?
ratings.
What the fuck? What kind of piece of shit is a 10 at this point? Like what?
Yeah, I'm like the opposite of Albino Rhino, where he'll just go gush about a beer how it was amazing. Then he'll be like, "Yeah, it's a 6.5 out of 10."
Greg is easy.
This is 100%
So that was 8.
true.
That was 8 and 9 for the regular stout, right?
8 and 9 for the regular one, and okay, so for a bourbon barrel aged adjunct imperial stout, this is pretty good. The coffee is not as strong as I'd like it to be, but it's kind of getting there. And I actually have one more can of this, and I'm kind of hoping another month it might actually be where it might give me a little orgasm. So
A little orgasm.
just a little. I mean, I don't expect a full-on squirting gasm, but you know, it is what it is. So I would actually give this one. I should, right? But you know, you never know. Sometimes if you're dehydrated or you've just cranked it off 7 times that day, you never know what happens. But I would give that a 9 for style, and
9.
well, I guess I have to go higher. I mean, I kind of feel I was going to give it a 9 for personal enjoyment, but I am enjoying it more than the other one, and I admittedly probably overrated the first one. But so let's go 9.5. We're gonna overrate this one too and go 9.5 for personal enjoyment, 9 for style. I'm quite enjoying both these beers, and the fact that they're both 11% and I'm a little drunk has something to do with it.
That happened last week to me. That fucking bottle kicked my ass.
Yeah, I mean these beers would have been like 15 minutes ago. These beers would have been like 7s.
I think it's what happened to me last week as well, but it's okay.
Now that Greg is like mostly drunk off of 2 cans of imperial stout, that he's gonna be given like, I fucking love this beer. It's even better. Okay,
This is a
Red Beard,
330
calm down.
bottle, so this is not nearly as big as what I normally or last week drank. So,
Well, you can't always have as big as you had last time.
which is fine. I got very drunk
All
this
right.
time.
So now that
I
Greg
approve
is-
of drunk Lady Lee. My
so now
cat's
that
gone,
Greg
by the
is-
way.
I see that. Yeah. So now that Greg is sort of laid back and relaxed on his couch after having spent his load on his review. Thank you, Greg. Let's move over to hey, it's Lady Lee. Let's
Okay,
hear about
just one
this
more time.
Golden Carolus.
Christmas. Yeah.
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 Well,
Yeah. Woo.
Well,
Where's
I just had a
Jeff?
little orgasm.
Where's Jeff when you need, Where's Jeff when you need a gift?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sure you don't.
itself doesn't really say what the style is, but the website says it's kind of like a spiced Christmas beer, I guess, a spiced Belgian beer. It is quite tasty. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I don't know. I think it is just something that I'm interested in. Like the Belgian beers seem to have caught my interest more so than a lot of other beers. So I think I'm just catching on to that train now, being like, oh hey, Belgian beers. So taste wise, it does have that nice maltiness to it, and with the spices, it kind of reminds me of like molasses cookies. So it has, it's not very sweet, but it still has that like spiciness to it. So I think it's really tasty. Do I taste Christmas exactly? No, but I do taste a little bit of that cookiness goodness that you think of when you think of Christmas. I literally saved like a sip for myself so I could remind myself what I was tasting. It's a good beer. I'm happy that I listened to the instructions because it said you should drink it at like between 9 and 12 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
So I took it out of the fridge for a bit before.
Whoa.
The cats did not like your message. Please try again.
The cat tried to fuck with the older cat. And
Yeah, never good.
fucked with.
Who doesn't like a good old-fashioned cat fight?
Poor Angel is like scratched up in the face. She has like a bloody nose right now. 'Cause
Jesus.
of the cat fight.
Poor kitty.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully she'll
But
fucking learn
the
at
thing
some
is,
point.
though, Angel's an instigator too.
Yeah, that's
So
the thing.
If she left Ollie alone, or just like ignored him, because he just goes up and like, oh, I'm gonna bug you, and then Angel's like, I'm gonna growl at you, and then I'm gonna fucking attack you, even though you're a bigger cat and I'm gonna get hurt, I'm still gonna attack you. So Angel just needs to learn to submit. Let's be real.
Wow.
She's not doing it.
I mean,
Just
that's what
accept the fact that the other cat's stronger. That's it.
I gotta say, you sound like a bit of an incel right now. She just has to learn to submit.
Mm-hmm.
Angel, and then Sasha doesn't give a fuck. Sasha's just laying by the window. She's relaxed.
Sasha wants to be friends with everybody.
Oh yeah, she does, but no one wants to be friends with her. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Beer. Speaking
I'd
of
be
beer.
friends with Sasha.
Delicious. It is very good. It is very tasty. As it gets warmer, I actually like it better. I find this is like one of those types of beers where it's usually the opposite for me. Like I tend to like colder beers versus warmer, but this one, as it warms up, it does have this nicer taste to it. Like the flavors start to come out more. So as a spiced Belgian ale, I'm going to give it. I feel like I'm really unexperienced with these ones. I just keep rating them high because I like the taste. But anyways, I'm gonna give it an. That was my last sip. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 for style, and personal preference. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go 8.5 because I think last week I went with 10 because I was drunk. So this time, like I really enjoy this. You know what? Fuck, I'm gonna go for the 9. I actually really enjoy this. It's going down
9.
smooth. Yeah, I'm
Nice.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the flavor. I'm enjoying the taste. I'm enjoying like the feel. Like I think last week I had more of an experience with it because I had this really nice mouthfeel throughout the whole thing, which is why I got my 10. But this one has a good taste to it. Doesn't have the same mouthfeel, but still has a good taste. The end.
Nice.
Finn.
All right. Thank you, Laylee.
And if you pay extra,
So-
we can watch cat fights.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just pussy
Oh,
abuse.
there you go. There's Ollie. Wait, there's Ollie. We've never met Ollie. Ollie is there. No,
What?
not paying attention. That is Ollie.
Kitty.
That is the other kitty. That is the third kitty to this household.
Mystery Kitty.
It's a lot of pussy in one household.
It is.
All I hear is the looking at that cat plus Arnold snoring. And
I thought
thinking,
that
like,
was-
that cat's in danger. That cat's in danger.
I kept looking to see if anyone was asleep on the chat.
like Greg last week.
I wasn't sure if you guys could hear that or not, but evidently.
Oh yeah, we
you
can.
could.
Oh yeah, he's snoring like a mother trucker.
Listen,
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not waking him up, so you guys have to deal with it.
I didn't think Lou Dog was home yet, so it had to be the fucking dog.
Shots fired. All right, back to I guess it's me. So this beer is going down very smoothly. there is a little bit of an alcohol burn on here, being 10%. Right off the first sip, there was the raisin, the figs, the dark pitted fruits that came off of there. But it had a little bit more of a metallic taste in a way. But it is a damn fine barley wine. This is one of the ones that I really, really did enjoy back in 2017, 16, 15. And I still enjoy to this day. It is actually quite good. There is a little bit of a small bitter hop on the final note of it. But it still holds up. There's people out there that are saying, this is too harsh. This is too bad. It's a fucking barley wine, folks. Get over it.
Barley wine.
Yeah.
Barley wine.
Like, there's people out there that
like
they don't
beer.
like the flavor of barley wines. I can get that. But I love barley wines. I mean, after all, Thor's Hammer, which you guys really didn't enjoy, or some of you didn't enjoy that much.
I did.
Yeah,
I
Red Deer
did.
didn't.
Carrie didn't. Yeah, he
Yeah.
blew it up.
Gary fucking
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah,
I mean,
someone didn't like it.
literally
So.
when he drank it, it sparks flew.
Yeah. So I mean, it was still one of my favorite barley wines out there, and this is a good close second. I mean, it's nothing compared to Trailway. I'll admit that, but.
Wow, shots
I
fired.
just knowing my trolling is when I get it.
Got to get that in somehow, Nick. But at the same point in time, I was going to actually continue on by saying Phillips has been around longer than Trailway, but that's a different story for another
Beer's
time.
better.
Yeah, they still make good beer, and they're still around a lot
Oh
longer.
yeah, no.
So, but
Close makes great beer.
they do, and
It's just
Trailway,
not Trailway.
Trailway makes really good beers too. All right,
Dan violence.
yeah. Well,
Dan
we're still waiting for the East Coast and West Coast violence to happen someday. Someday, Nick, it will.
the
happen.
battle of the
Yeah,
the battle of the goat stashes.
just to appease the masses. But at the same point in time, like this is actually a really solid beer. I love it. It's still good. The other one I was going to choose was going to be the Vancouver Island Brewing's Herminator, but I had to go with this one just to troll you for a bit, Nick.
Oh, good. Actually, I couldn't be interested in hearing about it, so I'd like to try it at some point.
One day.
Yeah.
It might come back in another 5 years. So
Maybe.
But that's me. Right. Rating. God, 10%. Good stuff. Rating for style, it's a solid 8. For enjoyability, it's a 9.5. I really still like it. It goes down smoothly, and it's doing the job of me not being able to walk in a straight line.
Nice. Alrighty. Thank you, Dan.
No
And
worries.
Let's move over to Radlar. Hey, Radar.
It's
All
gone.
gone. No, you got like a little swaller left at the bottom of that glass. Wow. So what'd you think of it?
For the price, very good lager. Lagers are not my forte, or I like IPAs way better. But for the price, and you know what, the taste, it to me it seemed like almost like a Czech var, but without like the cerealness, I would say. And it's better. I give it it still smells good. It smells good for a lager, which for me is like okay, and that's pretty much it. It's 5.6%, but it goes down smoother than water. Like it's really that good, I think. And I'm giving it a good 8.5 for the taste and the style with the can. Oh, that's 8.5 as well. And it's actually pretty damn good for a cheap beer. That gave it extra marks on that one. Extra marks because it's in BC. I would have given it 1 mark less if it would have been in Alberta, because of Alberta. Speaking of Alberta, Mr. Dan. Do you know Vancouver a lot? I mean, he's from BC.
Yes.
Do you know the street East Georgia?
East Georgia or East Hastings?
East Georgia Street.
East Georgia, yeah, it's a couple streets away from East Hastings.
Okay, well, Balderdash Beer Company is in the same block where south of that is Off the Rail Brewing.
Okay.
20 meters to the right of that, to the east is Bomber Brewing.
Oh,
And
okay.
from Balderdash, one block up is Superflux Beer Company.
Oh, fucking good beer there.
Jesus, like breweries
And
everywhere.
Container Brewing is just on the other side at Hastings.
You go a little
It's
bit
like-
further, and there's
Yeah.
also Parallel 49 as well.
And yeah, I see that. There's
Jesus.
Andina
like
Brewing
Halifax.
Company. Dude,
Yeah.
it's like every fucking corner. and there's
it
a
makes
hotel not
Starbucks
far
look
from
like there's nothing there. So
East
yeah.
Van Lupolo Brewing Company is like,
Lupolo,
all
great
that and like
sours.
100,
Yep.
like all of that and like within 100 meters, 5-minute walk. Like, why am I not there right now at the hotel at the Waldorf? I don't care if it's cheap, it's somewhere to sleep after you're hammered.
Because
Like,
you
like-
wouldn't be able to find it after going to all those breweries. That's why.
That's what Ubers are for, and I'm sure Vancouver has Ubers.
Yeah, they do.
But no, so yeah, from that part of town, I should probably try some other beer from that brewery. So yeah, 8.5 all the way through. I am done.
I'm done.
Nice.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I
that makes sense. Right
I
on
had-
makes sense. Like Vancouver sounds a lot like Halifax, where there's like 2 Crows, 9 Locks, Propeller, and Kid
Garrett.
Robot are all.
yeah, but this is like more than just 3. This is like 20
Tuscan Falls
within
got a
1
spot there.
kilometer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
This is like
I mean-
Halifax. You can walk to everything too.
I mean, yeah. Technically, Halifax is a smaller scale, but it's kind of the equivalent if you take into account, I lost the word because I'm stupid.
yeah.
Or forgetful?
Economy of scale kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Comparatively, it's kind
Yeah,
of
like,
the same thing. You know, like
Vancouver's bigger population is like how many million people live in Vancouver, right?
in our sort of our beer making like craft breweries and stuff that only really started to blow up in the last 5 years, where it's like now there's just way too many honestly breweries in the Maritimes.
Oh,
You
and
look at like Ontario,
uh,
there's so many. There's starting to be a crunch.
but also on the same road as Balderdash Brewing Company, about maybe 50 meters to the west, which is in the same building compartments, is the Communist Party of Canada building,
Wow.
or their head office, which looks like a classroom.
So radar has
They
been
took
there.
it over
All right.
from the Scientologists. Anyways,
Jeez. All right. So that in mind, let's go over to me actually, because I want to talk about mine. Here. I do have a digital
Sorry.
carry to follow up this, but I want to talk about my mind here. So damn it.
Can I go? For
I
one
am in the
second?
same. For fuck's sakes, radar. What?
The building from outside of the Communist Party, it really looks like a Venezuelan prison.
Wow,
Christ.
that's on the nose.
All right, go ahead, Nick.
Wow, you know what that looks like.
Yeah.
All right, it's a scene of a movie. All right, so I'm in the same boat as Lady Lee, where I saved like the last little bit out of my glass because I kept drinking it too fast. I'm like, oh, shit, how long is this thing going to be? Right now, we're almost an hour and 10 minutes, and we're still talking about beers. And I'm like, I'm going to run out of fucking beer because this is so goddamn good. I feel like this is like extremely special to drink, like even though it's just like a New Brunswick brewery making this kind of thing. This is really cool. Someone who like nailed the style as well as they did. It's light, effervescent, not too sweet, just a nice light sour. If you're looking for a beer that's going to be like mouth puckering and sour, it's not. I don't think you're going to be dissatisfied so much, but you're not going to get that hugely sour beer. But I don't care. I love it. You get stone fruits, peach orange, a little bit of like a lingering yeast funk, like the tannic, like the oak tannins from the wood. You get the skin of the fruit, that fruit tannins, and you also get like a hint of like it's almost like borderline spicy, but like a hint of a medicinal kind of band-aidy kind of quality. Which I'm sure is one of the flavors imparted by the yeast, but it's a great combination of yeast flavors otherwise, and it drinks friggin' smooth. It's going down super easy. And one of the things that impresses me the most about this is that like the yeast kind of complement to this kind of really reminds me of like a Flemish kind of red or something like that, or like a. I keep thinking like Rodenbach Grand Cru when I'm drinking this, and they nailed like that spontaneously fermented. Yet it was actually like spontaneously fermented with yeast from like Fredericton, New Brunswick, which is weird. Maybe there is a thing to the yeast, naturally occurring yeast in this province. Who knows? And I would love to see more breweries try that if Hammond River happens to be listening. Anyway, so yeah, like this, the biggest thing that really impresses me is how well Trailway nailed the lambic style, because usually when you see like barrel like sours, like lambic style sours from breweries in North America, they're always taking like yeast strains, like cultivating yeast strains from lambics and shit like that, but they don't get the combination just right. And don't get me wrong, like this is not a like lambic, but it's pretty damn close. Like this is one of the closest examples I've seen to a really good spontaneously fermented beer, like on this side of the pond, because it's really that doesn't work out in translation. Because usually, like I was saying, um, when they make one of these kind of styles of beers over here, they're taking the yeast and manually putting it in, and it's not spontaneous. This is actually really good. And I'm friggin' enjoying this. I might have to go get another one as long as I don't get a case of the Belgians in the morning after drinking this. So that said, I guess the only detracting thing I would say, like as far as the style goes, when you have to consider the originals in the style, obviously, I mean not as good, but I think it's a very good interpretation of a lambic, and it's like one of the best I've seen of over here. 8.5 for the styles. What I'm thinking loses half a mark because of I had a thought about it and I can't remember.
It's okay. You're getting old like me.
Yeah, I think it's because it's not like most mouth puckeringly sour. Is what you get from over there, but overall enjoyment it's a friggin' 9. I love it.
Friggin' 9.
Friggin' 9.
Friggin' 9.
999. As Arnold snores. It's just a commentary of how well the show's going.
It's a fucking chainsaw.
It's dragging on. I know the show's
he's
dragging
not barking or trying to hump anything, so I'll just,
I mean that's true. Oh look, there's a cat's ass too as well.
Jesus. All right. Oh, the cat's back. The cat came back the very next day. Greg thought he was a gunner.
Speaking of a cat's ass, let's hear what Carrie has to say.
Yeah, let's see what Moo Cow has to say.
I mean, his beard does look
Moo
like
Cow
a cat's
and
ass.
Grandolph are there on. Alrighty, let's hit play here.
This is kind of ridiculously amazing. I just realized now that I'm recording these 3 things all with my headphones on. I'm in the chat last night at this point with Greg, who
Hi,
I
Greg.
don't have.
Hi.
He just said hi. I don't have coming through the speakers right now.
That's hilarious.
Would be him.
I wonder if you can hear
and
the dog
here
snort.
now. And he would keep saying penis. You just let me know. This beer is kind of. I don't know what they were going for. Lime Goza. I would make Greg were talking. I like tequila barrels. Maybe like what else would you barrel age this in? I'm not getting any char, any actual like woodiness from
Virgin oak.
any barrel, but
Probably what it is.
this is like key lime pie with no crust, kind of like it's just that absolutely astonishing, perfect. It's so good. It's like just the perfect level of tart. Goza, not sour. Like it's a bit salty. That's so good. I'm still not gonna say it justifies the price point for a. It's 4.8%. That's such a weird thing to barrel age to me. It breaks my brain, but yeah, this is amazing. Style wise, barrel aged Goza. I've never had one. I'm going to give it a 10. And then I guess for personal preference, I kind of have to go 10 as well. This is absolutely
wow.
amazing.
Oh wow! You sure there,
Whoa.
River?
So
Double
good.
10.
It's gone line crazy.
Having me virtually. Enjoy the rest of the analysis.
Enjoy the rest of the anal.
You have to future predict, Carrie, which beer you want to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie has to vote for the beer when he's not here.
He's probably
Please.
that'd be funny. He goes, I thought they took Radar's beer there.
Right.
Like
I
I
vote
just
for
got it
Joe's.
tomorrow.
He'd be more like Radar never shows up. He's going to vote for
He
Greg's.
picked Jamie's beer.
I vote for Joe's beer.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so now that it's been an hour and 15 minutes, let's finish this episode up by circling
Finish
once
her
again
off.
around the breach, asking everybody that's here, Lee, of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you have rather have had?
Okay, so yours, Nick, and Redbeards, they're tied for a very close second because they both sound very intriguing and they're kind of from a similar side of the spectrum when you think about it, as far as flavor profiles, shit like that. But actually, I gotta go with fucking. I'm a sucker for a really good lager and one that's in fancy cans that are attractive. So I'm gonna go with Radars.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Lee. Let's go over to Mr. Greg. Greg, of all the beers you heard
So
here tonight.
I feel, Nick, this is a final opportunity that we can finally settle the score between West Coast versus East Coast, Dan versus Nick. Which brewery makes the better beer? Is it Trailway or Phillips? And the answer to that is I would pick Ladies Lee's beer.
Hold on, the beer in the bottle.
Fucking cop out, but I'll take it.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Who's next? We got Lady Lee.
Christmas.
Lady Lee's going to follow that up with a Christmas.
Christmas.
She's going to show off the Christmas sweater one more time.
Christmas.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Put it
Christmas.
between,
Yeah.
not by the
There you
side.
Christmas.
Put it between, not by the side. There we go.
Christmas.
Oh, between. Jesus. All right, Lee.
So
I just
I've
lost
been
my
on-
virginity.
I've been on a. I think mine's a little bit obvious. There's been some interesting ones. I think only because I've been on such the Belgian kick, I'm gonna go with Lee's. There's a lot of other ones that do sound interesting, but I really like the name of your beer, and I like the can, and yeah, I kind of want to go explore more on the Belgian train. So that is what got me.
Wait,
All
who's
right. Mr. Lee's.
Oh.
He's got a Belgian single from Nine Locks in Halifax.
Christmas.
Mhm.
All righty. Thank you for that. So let's go over to Dan. Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hi.
So which one are you voting for?
Which one were you having again there, Nick? I'm trying to sort of see here because
Trailway Barn Robbers.
yeah, okay, not that one. Sorry.
Bastard, he's always one step ahead.
Honestly, I've had the series that Greg's had before. Well, not that particular series. I had the series before, and they were delicious. They're amazing. I would like to try this year's series. So Greg gets my vote on this one.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
You know what?
Greg's
You brought a
getting
good
the
variety
D.
of beers this time, so.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Let's go over to Mr. Radar. Radar.
Yes.
Which of all the beers you heard here tonight, which would you rather have had?
And I can't pick mine, right? No, I would go for Redbeards. You seem to like it very much, and that tartiness, and I love tarts.
That doesn't.
Party.
Yeah, I would go for Redbeards.
All right.
All right,
Tart.
tiebreaker Nick.
All right,
Yeah, I
Nick,
guess-
Nick, you got to pick the winner.
I guess I'm the tiebreaker today. I'm going to vote for myself. No, I don't like. No. Yeah.
You could vote for Dan, and then there'll be no winner.
Wait,
I
who has
thought-
votes so far?
Wait,
who
wait,
has
wait,
done
What was the beer you brought tonight, Dan?
Oh shit!
It was from Phillips, was it? Fuck that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nick. You cannot copy me, so that doesn't count. But yes, Phillips.
I was just trying to prove a point to Greg that I wouldn't vote for Dan's anyway. Although I
wouldn't
will
vote for
say
yours.
that pretty much every one of the beers tonight, including Dan's, yes, I would are beers I would love to try.
I would
it sounds
try
like a
yours
great
as
night.
well.
Like
Not
especially
now.
like Radar's lager sounds really interesting because like if it's $1.80 for a fucking lager, that actually sounds
Well,
really
it's
awesome.
$2.05 usually. They're on special there this month.
Yeah.
Even 205 is a
That's
pretty good
cheap.
price.
That is
Yeah.
cheap for fucking for a can.
An
500 ml can.
import from Vancouver.
In the world that
Right.
lagers now cost like $3.50 at the LCBO, yeah, that's a good price.
But
And
I would have
seen
to
him at the
say,
LCBO.
I would have to say that my vote actually goes to the one that interests me the most, and which is going to be Greg's. I would
Damn
love
it.
to try that Willy series.
I was gonna
Yeah.
vote Christmas dance. Fuck all y'all.
So who had how many votes?
Greg is the winner tonight
Okay,
because
with-
I
with
cast
two.
the
I would
tiebreaker.
with 2 votes.
Yeah, you win with 2 votes because
Yeah.
it's so divided.
So
We got
those
an
are
extra
all-
crop of beers here tonight, so that
Which I thank you, Dick, but I'm worried we're not going to get any more Christmas dances now.
all right. So I want to point out
We're
in the
not.
comments here that the magic question has been asked for years for days. which
Also
is
in
that-
Aramaic from Radar.
No, I have to do it in Amharic, which is the number one
Amharic.
Ethiopian.
Or Mark,
So
whatever. I don't
here
care.
goes.
I mean,
Jesus, so
that's better than I could have done it.
okay, all right. So with that in mind, we are going to do a reanalysis next week because for some reason, even in Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick, we've all got this beer. So we've looked at it before previously. Let's look at it again. So this is Winter Beer. It's dark double chocolate cranberry stout. I think it's 8% ABV, and from Muskoka.
Oh, look,
And I
I've got it
think-
too.
Oh, you got it too? Oh,
I've
imagine
got
that.
it too.
Wow. Sweet.
Yeah. So it'll be a good episode next week.
I've
Anyways.
got this too.
Definitely a mixed history on this one here, but yeah, I don't want to get until next week. All right. So that said, we have been going for over an hour and 20 minutes. This might be one of the longest ever episodes, but we did have a great time. So I want to thank everybody who wound up watching, the one viewer. Thanks, Beers for Days, and thank you, Jamie, who
Who's
bad for Jamie didn't show up tonight.
Kenny, your magician.
And I don't know who Can Your Magician is, but I want to say
Came-
thank you for watching.
Came from the
Came
from the
BIRB.
Burb.
The Burb?
The Burb?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know,
Burb,
but
like in bird?
Cool.
Like the suburb? I don't know.
verb is the word?
Yeah.
Burb
Hey,
is
I'll
the
take
word.
Oh, the
Burb.
burb. The
Burb
burb is
is
the
the
word.
verb.
Burb.
Hey Nick, can I give a little PSA to all of our listeners?
Of course.
Okay,
you can.
okay, I'll do one too after.
Anytime you pick up a wrench, reach for a control, use a grease gun, grab a welding torch, or work on any machine while forgetting safety, you're shaking hands with danger.
Remember it, kids.
Oh,
Shake hands with danger.
I mean, you definitely don't want to do danger.